Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the October 20th meeting of the Stockbridge Board of Assessors. As we are wont to do with every public meeting, pursuant to Massachusetts General Law C-30A 20F, after notifying the chair of the public body, any person may record or transmit this open meeting. This hybrid meeting is being recorded by the town of Stockbridge. The names of the members participating remotely will be announced. Everybody here is present. Any member of the public wishing to speak must first receive permission from the chair. The agenda items listed are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, but not all may be discussed, and other topics not listed may be brought up for discussion by the public body as permitted by law. Mike?
Good morning. Okay, so number one, you have to approve last meeting's minutes.
I make a motion that the minutes be approved as presented.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Unanimous.
Okay, number two, Erica got ready remember the uncollectibles that you signed for second homeowner that we accidentally picked up and they never paid the bill, so we were told by the state to do an uncollectible on that. So you guys signed off on it initially, but then Erica has to type it up on her side and then you have to sign the final one, and that's what is right there.
Okay.
That's different.
Is it?
That's an excise one.
Oh,
Yeah, for somebody that's deceased.
Yeah, for somebody.
oh,
that's
she was supposed to
deceased.
give us the other ones too.
You guys already did those.
No, but I think she didn't type them up and send them to us. Oh, she did. Sorry, wrong one.
We'll let it slide this.
All right.
More to follow.
Right,
But
church.
she's not here, so I didn't have a chance to check with her. Number three, I will just give a follow-up on what happened last week. So we had our tax classification hearing on Thursday night, and it went fine. And the select board did vote on a residential factor of 1, which was what you recommended. And they also voted to not adopt a residential tax exemption and to not adopt a small commercial exemption. So with that being done, Friday when I came in, I finalized everything that needed to be, there were a few things that needed to be done on the recap on the gateway. And my goal was to submit everything to DOR by end of day. And I actually got a response back from the new Nick, our new rep for Division of Local Services, who I haven't spoken to yet, only through email. And he couldn't look at anything because they had a mandatory training on Friday for something. And so he was going to start looking at everything today. I don't know how much is going to get done with that because I really am just the provider of all the data. We really submitted everything that we needed to submit. Aponte, is our accountant group, they actually signed off on the receipts because there was an explanation that needed to be done. There was a comment on one of the items that Mike Canales is responsible for putting where the receipts are, and then the Aponte reviews them. So I typed in the comment. I actually texted Mike while he was on vacation, but I needed an answer. I wanted to get everything submitted. And so we did get an answer. We did submit. So this would be hopefully just a couple of days of them reviewing it. I checked my messages. There's nothing there today or this morning. So hopefully he's looking at it today and we'll review all the questions that come through and I'll guide him to where he needs to get the answers from. It really isn't the Board of Assessors. We don't really do anything but sign off on the recap in the LA5, which is the notification of the classification hearing, of which we did have. So everything else, if there are questions, most likely it's going to be on the receipt side because of the difference between fiscal 25 and fiscal 26. And it could be on the supplemental forms that are filed with Aponte. So I will refer all of those questions, those technical questions, to the people that are supposed to answer them. And I'm hoping that we have our tax rate set by the end of the week. And what that would mean is I don't know how far along Erica is. Do you know, Tammy, with the tax file?
I don't know.
Okay. she has our data for the commitment, and I don't know what kind of process she goes through with SoftWrite to get the bills ready. But we were hoping to have, I mentioned to the select board that we were hoping to have them out the first week in November, but she has been out for a few days, so I don't know when we're gonna be able to get to that file. But I still think we're in good shape, and once she's back and we get the tax rate set, we can push for the bills to be, I would say maybe the second week in November out to the public. We'd still be ahead of ourselves over last year. So right now, it's just wrapping up everything. We did get our free cash certified. And I believe that sits at 1.9 million. That's the amount that came through, which means we did not have to have the accounting group sign off on there's a page where you have to sign off if you don't have your free cash certified in order to proceed with the tax rate setting. We don't have to do that step because they did certify our free cash. I don't know where they sit with, the Schedule A and the finalizing of our books. That's really more of the accountant side than it is the assessing side. So I'll update you guys if anything else comes up where the state has questions on our part, although I don't think there's anything. We're valuation. This is now the tax rate side, so it's all the financials that are at play. What was proposed for the tax rate, we're still hoping comes through at $6.83 from $7.09, which was our tax rate last year. And I did get an email this morning from Clarence Fanto asking questions because I think he's working on an article about the average valuation change and how much it's going to be for the tax bill. And again, whatever data that I put out there, I would always say that each individual property owner and homeowner needs to check with us because it's going to vary from the style of your property to different style properties from where you're located in town to, there's so many factors that were involved in what we changed this year that I would recommend that, it's okay to read the article, but please inquire with us if you really want to know what your new assessment is and the change that's going to happen in the next few weeks when the bills are issued. Any questions on that? No, I think we're in a good spot right now to get those out soon. We also got, I had never seen this come through before on the gateway system, but we had an email stating that there's a new parcel that we can get reimbursed for state-owned land. You know which one I'm talking about, is the Stowe property. Mohawk Lake Road and Glendale Road, map 221 lot 4. I had never filled out a questionnaire for state-owned land before. I'll just read what the email was from the commissioner. And it says, Dear Board of Assessors, according to the Department of Capital Asset Management, the Commonwealth has acquired land in your community. The parcels acquisitions that are listed in the DOR gateway system may qualify for reimbursement for state-owned land in accordance with, and it's the Mass General laws. And they needed me to go online and fill in the information from the new deed that came through where that land
That's
was.
the 300 acres.
So it's 250 in Stockbridge.
Yeah, exactly.
50 in West Stockbridge. Yep.
Yep, so on October 6th, I filled in all the information. I signed the form, so I didn't get any email back. It was submitted. So the only way that we'd be able to check is when they do give us the reimbursements for state-owned land to double check that this one is indeed on there. I mean, that's a big parcel. So I would imagine that the reimbursement would be higher than some of the ones that we get reimbursed for. But it was good to see that I didn't have to do anything on this other than to complete their little questionnaire and survey and go from there. And because the property because that sale took place this year, there is still going to be the tax bill that goes out. That might be a question that might come up. They may file an abatement. Again, I don't know, but because the Stowes owned it as of the assessment date, which was January 1st, this didn't happen, I believe, until June. So they can't simply say, well, the DOR owns it now, so we don't owe this bill. They owned it as of January 1. So there might have been some kind of an agreement, which we don't know of, as to is there a percentage of the bill that's gonna get paid? It was also under a chapter. So there's not much of a bill that's gonna be due. The valuation was very low because of the chapter.
So how do you finish or close out the chapter? I mean, the lien was obviously ignored. because-
Yeah, well, actually, in the deed, Erica and I were looking at this because I had asked her, I said, have you ever seen anything like this happen in any of the towns, that you had worked with? And she highlighted something that I hadn't seen in the deed that says this doesn't change the fact that it's under a chapter. So I'm wondering if and I'll check with legal on this, if we can leave it. I mean, it's the DOR, at this point, we're gonna have to take it out of the chapter and put it under the land use code beginning with a 9 for state-owned land. And we will get probably more money from this being under state-owned land than it was under a chapter because the valuation was very low. But I would say I'll check with Donna and see if we have to release that lien. Most likely, they're not gonna sell it off. I guess it's for everyone's benefit at this point. And what would be the harm in leaving the lien and what would be the harm with taking the lien off at this point? If you look up the deed, and I can show you the deed the next meeting, it is very specific as to the chapter. So I don't really think they care because again, they're asking us to submit it for reimbursement. So we did and we
If it was a
should.
regular sale, it would be 5 years that they would owe, right?
Unless they maintain the chapter.
Yeah, and again, they didn't have to go through any of because again, it's the DOR and it's state-owned land. The select board doesn't have to meet to decide what they're gonna do with the land. They're not gonna have to do anything with the land because it is the DOR. They have,
Yeah, and
they have the say over that.
and the deed is like, it's a taking.
It is listed as a taking.
Not as a
Right.
transfer deed, it's a
Yeah.
taking. Yeah,
Yep.
so I mean, it would be nice.
And they refer to the taking actually. And I'm like,
It would be nice to get it cleaned up.
it did involve quite a bit of money. So I mean, it was a taking, but it was also a sale.
Same thing as what happened with the
Swans.
Swan proper.
Yeah, with the pink farm
Yep.
way back when.
So it would be nice to get it cleaned up so that some other board 20 years down the road is.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm fine with releasing the lien because this isn't a private group or a
Well, the liens against.
citizen owning a parcel that they could break it up and sell it into different lots. This is going to be under one of their divisions and there's been rumors that state-owned land now it's valued by the DOR. We used to value it ourselves and it used to be honestly, a nightmare because we had to run a separate land schedule on top of our land schedule to coincide with the way they wanted it to be valued. They took it out of our hands in 2017. No assessor is responsible for the valuation of state-owned land. However, we should still know that we're getting reimbursed for this land. Yeah, so I'll check with Donna and find out. And I'd be more comfortable with releasing the lien and getting it off the books.
So is this same issue happening in West Stockbridge and should you just touch base with West Stockbridge to make sure everybody's on the same page? So who's the assessor over in West Stockbridge?
They have a group that does
Yeah.
do they still have that Harrow group, Brandy? I think they do.
I don't know.
I
No,
thought they did.
yeah, I'm just wondering if you should be on the same page with West Stockbridge, because I'm
Yeah,
assuming,
I mean,
I'm
again,
assuming they're in chapter 61 on the 50 acres in West Stockbridge as well.
I think so.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
it might be nice to be consistent.
Okay, yeah, I'll check. I'll find out. I always get thrown when they call it a taking, when you see $1 million or more. I'm like, that's okay, I get it, but and it's beautiful land. I mean, that abuts the
It owns half of the.
lake. Yeah.
Southern side of Mohawk Lake.
Yep. Okay, again, I put a reminder on here. I'll just keep doing it because we still have some outstanding. Is that the chapter renewal forms, the CL1 forms are due on December 1st. So I was gonna wait until they all came in. We'll wait until December 1st and then present them to you guys for review. We may also have 1 or 2 new ones that will be filing through the abatement process, which they are legally allowed to do. I won't mention any yet until we get to the bills going out, knowing when the date is, the last date for when people can file exemptions and abatements, and then we'll look at those, any new chapter lands. And I do also have to order a whole bunch of things for the commitment book and the books that I put together for all the financials after the tax rate is set. So I'm going to be doing that this week. And Brandy, I did send in the form for the meeting next week. You're still going to go, right?
Yep.
Okay. And that's it. That's all I have.
Nobody online?
No.
Anything from the board?
I don't have. them.
Nope.
Motion to, yeah,
Yep, motion to adjourn.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.